Hey lovelies, welcome back to our channel, Get Spooky Society. First I want to say Dale is not with me tonight, so if everybody could just put a little shout out and prayer to his dog, had surgery today, and so I have Andy with me tonight, and he's going to help me with filming this. So we are back in Lawrenceburg, Indiana at the ARI building, which is the Archeological Research Institute. And Andy is actually, he has done all the research on this place, and he's going to tell us like what the history is in a nutshell as we know it. There are a lot of like differing stories, etc. But I am currently standing on part of the property outside where the infamous Fitch house may have been, or the barn. We're not sure, but that's where I'm standing right now. And Andy, I guess it's time to get spooky. Everybody, this is Andy Kugel, and he did all the research on this place, and I've asked him to give us the history, like in a nutshell, of this property.
Hey everybody, not a movie star like Stephanie. I want to first of all thank Stephanie for letting me play along in Lawrenceburg, because that's just been a lot of fun. She's really excellent at doing this, and it's been a lot of fun to hang out with you, so thank you. I don't know if Stephanie, you can pan around Dale, but you look at this property, it looks kind of boring, kind of modern. This building was built around 2000. This building over here was built in 1965. And it's like so many things in Lawrenceburg. What I love about this town is every piece of ground you step on and everywhere you go, there is such a deep history that may not be evident today, just as you walk and look around. Over there where Stephanie's looking now, you can see the old courthouse. Oh, that's obviously an ancient historic building, and you're right, it's very cool, because what went down here is the story of America. That's what happened here. The first guy that shows up in the history of this place, of this particular lot that we're standing on now, is a guy named Generaldill, who got talked about like he was an Irish barrister who somehow moved to America wearing all his buckles and charms and looking very European. That was all a lie. His dad was from Pennsylvania. He happened to be born in Ireland because his parents were visiting there, but he is an American through and through. They moved to Kentucky. He grew up on the frontier using a gun to fight off the Native Americans and whatever else was threatening his homestead from a very young age of like 10. Decided to join up with Mad Anthony Wayne in Cincinnati, who'd been appointed by General, at that point Governor St. Clair, to be the general for all the American forces out here in the Northwest Territory. He's a young guy, he joined up, he becomes an aide of General Mad Anthony Wayne, who took a great liking to Generaldill. The other aide for Mad Anthony Wayne was a guy named Harrison, who became president of the United States. They became fast friends. He wound up becoming a general, was told to raise an army, go fight the British up in Michigan. But most importantly, in his political service, Generaldill was a part of the committee that formed the state of Indiana. And it was greatly due to Generaldill's personal charisma and convictions that Indiana wound up being a free state. He married a woman who was St. Clair's general and Governor St. Clair's daughter. Her maiden name had been Lawrence, and because Generaldill's wife's previous husband had been named Lawrence, and she actually is the namesake for this town. So Generaldill's stepdaughter is the inspiration for the name of the town of Lawrenceburg, because her maiden name is Lawrence. Generaldill dies, his house burns down, a guy named Walter Hayes buys the property. The whole story of this property shifts from frontier wildness to something that sounds a lot like Bridgerton, with a family that was very well-to-do, very in power in this area. They owned a bank, the bank went belly up, there were a lot of lawsuits, suits over wills, suits over who owed who what for the bank going under. But in the end, a lady named Leah Fitch wound up owning this property with a house that used to sit, I think, right there, built by her father, Walter Hayes, which became known and is still known locally, even though it's gone, as the Fitch Mansion. On this site, there was a barn, kind of behind us. She's going to pan around to see it. And the house. Two of Leah's sons, twin boys, Thomas and Joseph, drop out of school at the age of 16 and decide to start their own business right here on the family property.
1 second. I just want the viewers to know that what we're looking at right now is the levee, but the river, the Ohio River, is on the other side.
It's right on the other side.
So just so they understand why we're looking at this hill, that is now the levee. Okay. So they started a business.
They started a business, a livery business, which was a taxi business. It was the Lyft of the day, and they would go give people transportation from either where the steamboat stopped or where the railroad station was to wherever they were going with their livery service. They started a breed of horses that became very well regarded, became the source for a bunch of the white stately circus ponies. One of the most famous horses they had was General Snowdrift, which I'm hoping, Stephanie, that you can somehow conjure up here for us tonight to communicate with, whose grandsire or granddad in horse terms was a horse that was given by Queen Victoria to General Grant. So,
wow.
Very cool.
And his name was Snowdrift?
General.
Yes, Snowdrift. Excuse me.
General Snowdrift. Very early on, Thomas got an interest in mortuary services. Now, we don't know if any of that early activity happened on this property or not. A side business, and a very important one for them, was funeral service. Right? So there's kind of a crossover. That business became, when they got full into funeral business, one of the longest standing businesses in the state of Indiana. In fact, there's a Fitch branded or named funeral home still in business. Leah's son sold the property to a guy named Dr. George Smith. He has kind of an interesting history, but the piece of tragedy that touched him during the 6 years that he owned the house that stood here, the Fitch house, was that his daughter Ruth, also nicknamed Jackie, died in a car accident, and he sold it to the American Legion. The American Legion owned the home for decades. It was always too big and too fancy and too expensive for them, so they were always almost immediately looking for a buyer for the property. They never found one until the Register decided to build this building next door. The owner of the Register wanted the Fitch house to be turned into a museum because it was a classical piece of colonial architecture, but he couldn't find the people with the money to actually invest in doing that, so he rented it out to lawyers until, as I said before, around the year 2000, the property was bought by the Eubank Title Company. There's no record of the house being torn down, but they must have tore it down because now this one-story modern brick building sits where it used to sit.
Spares, my name is Stephanie. You've already spoken to me when we were setting up the camera. I know it was a male. I did not catch what you said, so feel free to tell me again. You can touch me. I can hear you, feel you, smell you, see you. Feel free. I'm completely open to tell your story. And if you would have these lovely ladies tell us who they are.
Hi, spirits. I am Gail, and I'm here just to be witness to your stories and
Excellent.
Hi, I'm Liz. You're welcome to speak to me, and I hope that we have good conversation.
Hi, my name is Hannah. You're welcome to speak and touch me, and I'm excited to see what stories you have to tell.
Hi, I'm Sammy. I'm open to listening to you and the stories that you have to tell.
Hi, spirits. I'm Liz, also. I am here to help tell your stories and all the stories from people from the past. You're welcome to speak to me.
And we have Andy.
Oh, me?
Yep.
Introduction?
Yep. Andy's our stand-in for Dale tonight.
That's not even fair. Dale's like up here and I'm somewhere down here. But
We got you.
spirits, I hope you exist. Because if you exist, that means there's something else. So let me know any way you can.
That's right. And we have our first ever dog on an investigation tonight. Rex. We're very excited for Rex to join us.
Yes.
All right. Okay, somehow we're all messed up on this thing again.
That's me.
Use this.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, spirits, we had this cat ball going off, but I don't know that that was paranormal because it hasn't gone off since I messed with it. So I hope I didn't upset the spirits. But spirits, this was before the ARI was the register. And there was a lot of stories that went through here, and maybe some of the stories that were printed about this original land, possibly. Back here behind everybody was a dark room. They say it's really stinky in there, so I'm not sure we want to go in there. But if you're in that dark room and want to come out and talk to us, we really would like for you to come out here. We do have the flashlights. If you would like to use one of those torches or lights and light those up for us. None of this can hurt you as far as I know. You can just get close to this and it will light up and make a noise. You can get close to these balls like you were and they light up if you touch them or connect the wires. These flashlights can light up really easily. As I said before, I know a male spoke to me. So if you spoke to me earlier, if you would come through and let me know what you said. I'm sorry, I apologize, I did not hear you. It was very quick, but I did hear a male. Sounded like, I'm going to say in your 40s, a younger male. Please come through and talk to us. We do have some artifacts. Oh, Capo.
And that had stopped and just started again,
Okay.
Stephanie.
Thank you. So, funny, I was just going to say, we do have some artifacts that ARI has procured over here from some places around town. Some of them are Native American, and some of them are from where?
Boarding house.
A boarding house? Okay. So, I believe this is sitting by more of the Native American items. And recently it was brought to my attention that, I don't know, they may not be used to being called. Some might want to be called Native Americans, but some might be Indian. Like they might respond if we call them an Indian, so I'm not sure what the proper thing is to say at this moment. But if you are attached to one of these artifacts over here, can you do that again, please? That was really amazing. So I'm doing a little experiment where I'm trying to see if anything in here is attached to the land or possibly to these artifacts. All of a sudden I'm getting sick to my stomach. Or if it was somebody attached to the register, possibly. We do often do investigations where it's not the building we're in, but it is the land, and we find that out. Don't let us get skunked without Dale and not turn on one of those lights. He would really have a heyday with that. I also feel like this room in here has energy going on. It is very warm in there, and there are fans going. That's why we started in this room first. I am going to turn on the app Ghost that does not use Wi-Fi. All of our phones are on airplane mode. And see if you want to say any words through it. You can feel free. So if you come close to this device in my hand, this rectangular device in my hand, you can actually say words through it and communicate with us through it as well, if you would like to. If you want us to go into a different room, you can also tell us that through this device. Or you can tell me in my ear. Ladies? Yeah, there's a lot of ladies here except Andy.
Common mistake.
Are you talking about the ladies in this room, or are you talking about ladies that used to be here? Is the man here that spoke in my ear earlier, can you come through, please? What did I just put that by? A box. That cat ball. It should have gone off by now. Are you attached to something in that box? It's not even shutting off. Did you break my cat ball? Song? Are you gonna sing me a song?
Flashlight.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Can you turn that back off? Thank you. We'll see if this goes off now that it's over here. Sometimes when they come on like that and they don't go off at all, it means their batteries are going dead. Can you turn that back on over there if you're attached to something in that box? Please? Or touch that ball next to it. Thank you. Do we know what is in it? Can you turn that off, please? Thank you. Do we know what's in those boxes?
Those would all be artifacts from boarding house but they're going to be different things
Okay.
based on what trade is, what it is.
All right. Cool. Thank you. Can you turn that light on if you're a female, a woman? Please turn that same light or touch that ball. City. If you're a female or a woman or a girl. Can you turn some? You are? Okay. Choice. City and choice. So, people will say that these apps don't work, that they're just spitting out random words, because not all of them might go with what is happening at the time. But we don't know how many spirits could be coming through here, so I don't know if somebody else is talking about a city and a choice. It could be something to do with James Dill?
Yeah.
James Dill, or,
It could be because, he came to Cincinnati as a choice.
and that flashlight came on.
His wife came to Cincinnati as a choice to be with him.
Produce.
I don't know.
Were they farmers?
No.
That was me. Okay. Did you turn that flashlight on because you have an affiliation with James Dill? Oh. Okay. Can you turn it off? I'm not sure anything in that box would be associated with them. Do we know how far back that dates?
I mean, those are all artifacts that were recently pulled out and haven't been anything more than cleaned.
Okay.
So we don't know too much about those artifacts just yet.
Gotcha. Ooh. Somebody wants to talk about it, though. That's very interesting. But the boarding house was in Lawrenceburg? So we're starting to get your story, but what I'm trying to figure out is if you are a female that's associated with the boarding house and James Dill. That was her.
Okay.
Or are you just associated with the boarding house and somebody else is associated with James Dill? So let's try to back up a little bit. Can you please turn, thank you. Please turn that off. Bill, not Dill. Dang it. If it said Dill, I was gonna it's never said Dill, so. Okay, please turn that light on. If you are a female associated with Burke, a female associated with the artifacts in those boxes from the boarding house. Okay, thank you. Please turn it off. Are you also in some way associated with James Dill? Turn the light on, please. No. Okay. Good. That's clear. Are you happy that those artifacts have been reclaimed? Yes. Can you turn that off? Please. Will they eventually help tell a story from the boarding house? Please turn that on. Can you help us tell the story from the boarding house? Oh, capo. Thank you. So you guys, these are literally balls that are made for cats to play with. Thank you so much for turning that on. We've got, oh, okay. We've got lots of spirits in here from different time frames. I don't know what told me to go back there, but I was drawn back there. Is there anybody here connected to this land? If there's anybody here connected to the land, can you please turn something on? You back there on the flashlight from the boarding house, do you have something you want to tell us? Can you turn that on? Wow, you do. That was very, very fast. Thank you. Please turn it off. I knew nothing about the boarding house, so I'm interested in your story. Were you one of the females that ran the boarding house? Can you turn something on? Afford. Okay. You couldn't afford housing, so you had to live at the boarding house? Can you turn that on? Did you stay at the boarding house? Can you turn that on? Okay. Something else just came to me. Can you please turn it off? Did you help cook the food at the boarding house? Can you turn that on? Did you have chores there? Maybe not. Okay. Did you like it there? Can you turn something on? You did? Okay. That was a little delayed. Was it just a necessity for you to be there? It was your choice? Anything? Are you still with us? Okay. I feel like they're getting weaker. They're running out of energy. Is there anybody else in here that wants to talk?
Faint light.
Okay. Can you turn that off?
I've always wondered if they were well treated at the boarding house. You think of women out here on the frontier as early on.
Do we know any date? Guide. Do we know any dates on the boarding house at all? Flashlight.
Slip.
Slip. Slip. And guide.
Purse.
Purse. Wow, now they're all talkative. Slip, guide, purse. I feel like there was definitely groups that took care of each other. Some helped guide others. Definitely a female energy. Were you well treated? Can you turn that on? Did you make good friends there? You did? I feel like they made bonds.
A cat ball.
Oh, hi. Socks.
Shape.
Shape. I feel like this one could be a male. I feel like they...
Short.
Short. I feel like they were definitely shaped in different ways at the boarding house, depending on who they got to know, who their friends were, probably. Makes sense to me. Do socks have a significance? Okay. Please turn that off. You know, that flashlight, I keep saying it needs new batteries, but you can tell sometimes it comes on really bright. So, that was me sighing. Are there any men in this room right now? Can you turn something on? No? Okay.
That surprises me.
I know. Is there more than one of you here with us? Can you turn something on if there's more than one of you here? Turn that on if it's just you. And you're still here. I feel like she's really run out of energy. Okay, well. Plan. That's what I was just going to say. My plan is we need to move into a different room. If anybody is still in this room or attached to this plot of land right here and wants to talk to us, now is the time to turn something on before we move to a different space. Okie dokie, you still want to talk. That was bright. Okay. Please turn it off. Thank you. You had a plan to get out of the boarding house? Somebody was guiding you on how to get out? Can you turn that on? It's okay. That is a long time ago and you are not being judged at this point. So anything you say here is not going to go against you. You don't have to be afraid of us. We're not going to hurt you.
Okay, we're rolling again.
Bushes.
Bushes? That's interesting. I'm feeling this. I'm definitely picking up on levels within the boarding house and who was friends with who, and some took some under their wings and were helping them. And then some weren't as fortunate to have somebody to help them. Am I right? Can you turn that on if I'm right? Yeah, I thought so. Thank you. Please turn it off. Were you one of the ones that had somebody guiding you? Helping you? Can you turn that on? It's okay, you can turn it on and let us know. Nobody's here to judge you anymore. Nobody's here to reprimand you anymore, punish you anymore. Were you one of the ones that was left behind, that didn't have anybody to help you? I feel like this one definitely was in the in crowd, if you will. And she's just afraid to say that because she's afraid that somebody will, you know. Well, we're going to go into another room, but you are more than welcome to go in that other room with us if you still want to talk and want to tell the rest of your story. We thank you for what you have told us tonight. Hey lovelies, that wraps up another episode of the Get Spooky Society here in Lawrenceburg, Indiana at the ARI building, the Archeological Research Institute building. And we are really blessed to have come here and on this historic property, and I really enjoy this group because I'm into this, as you guys know now, with all my fossils and stuff that I've been finding. So it's been really interesting for me to be a part of this. But, you know, our time here has come to an end. So until next time, stay spooky.